Good day and welcome to the Midday News for Friday, June 26. I'm Carrie Simpson. A special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin. JMDA welcomes swift action on intern concerns. Malvern Park residents at breaking point over sewage situation. And later in sports, the 2026 FIFA World Cup continues today with 6 matches across groups G, H, and I. Thank you for joining us. Now the details. Up first this afternoon, the Jamaica Medical Doctors Association, JMDA, says it is encouraged by Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton's response to concerns raised by medical interns over long hours, staff shortages, and inadequate rest facilities. Some interns withdrew their services on Wednesday in protest, prompting the Health Minister to order immediate action, including audits of internal accommodation across the regional health authorities, and the University Hospital of the West Indies. Now, the JMDA says it has been invited to participate in one of the audits and that normal operations have now resumed. First Vice President of the association, Dr. Jubilee Brown, described the minister's response as a step in the right direction. Jamaica and Guyana could soon deepen cooperation in the housing sector, with Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness signaling plans to explore joint initiatives aimed at tackling housing shortages and boosting construction capacity. Now, he was speaking at the opening of the 2026 International Building Expo in Guyana Thursday. Alia Bryant reports.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says plans are in the pipeline for Jamaica and Guyana to work together to address one of the region's biggest development challenges, housing. Addressing the 2026 International Building Expo during his 2-day visit to Guyana, Holness said both countries could benefit from closer cooperation in areas such as labor, technology, and modern construction methods.
But I believe there are opportunities for Jamaica and Guyana to collaborate in the housing development sphere, particularly as it relates to labor and the deployment of new technologies in construction. And I look forward to advancing these conversations with your president to see how best we can collaborate as two developing nations to improve our people's access to housing.
The Prime Minister estimates Jamaica's housing deficit stands at roughly 150,000 units, with the government committed to providing 70,000 through its various agencies.
Our National Housing Trust will build 42,000 of those solutions. And we already have the plan to build that number of housing, and we have already built 10,000 of that number. And we continue to build thousands of houses every year.
Dr. Holness also pointed to slow planning and approval processes as additional challenges, while praising Guyana's streamlined one-stop system that has cut housing approval times.
You have taken on, with great courage, the efficiency of the government bureaucracy in delivering the approvals for housing. And I am told that you now have a one-stop shop and that you have cut the approval times for as high as 3 years to now 3 months.
He also used the occasion to publicly thank the government of Guyana and members of the Guyana Defense Force for their support in rebuilding houses and infrastructure damaged by Hurricane Melissa last year, underscoring the strong partnership between the two Caribbean neighbors. Alia Bryant, TVJ News.
A warning this afternoon to brace for a surge in cyber attacks driven by artificial intelligence. The warning comes from Chief Cybersecurity Expert at the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, Dr. Patrick Linton. Now, speaking at the recently concluded 11th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference, Dr. Linton said the evolution of technology and deeper internet penetration have created fertile ground for increasingly sophisticated cyber threats.
We've been seeing a proliferation of cyber crimes and cyber incidents. I recall 20 years ago when I went to Korea, they had like 16,000 cyber attacks per day. And by the time I came back to Jamaica, persons were like, we're not going to be seeing that kind of thing. That's way out. Now, as we have more penetration of internet and data, we're definitely going to have a rise in cyber crimes.
But he cautioned that the next frontier will be AI-enabled cybercrime, which he said could dramatically increase both the scale and sophistication of attacks facing Jamaica and the rest of the world.
5 years, government suffered several cyber attacks, several cyber incidents, and MOCA was positioned to respond to all those cyber incidents. And what we realized at that time is that the landscape was really rife with cyber attacks. There wasn't much of awareness. We did not institutionalize cyber crimes and cyber incident response, as also cyber security. We work closely with a lot of the system administrators. We work on several initiatives with our JCF partners, with the communities and schools, and we have seen a sharp downplay.
Jamaica Constabulary Forces welcoming the upcoming rollout of the demerit point system, describing it as a critical tool in strengthening road safety enforcement. The demerit point system will take effect on September 30.
We support this particular initiative, and we stand ready come the 1st of October to support it along with our different stakeholders in ensuring that it works. I want to finally say that the support of the public in ensuring that all of us drive safely cannot be understated or overstated. And so we want to encourage the public that whatever you see, report it to us.
The Transport Authority is advancing the development of a Drive Safe application. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz says the application is expected to be launched in the final week of July and will coincide with the rollout of the demerit point system. The application will serve as a centralized platform for public submissions, helping to facilitate more coordinated action by the relevant regulatory and enforcement agencies. Now, the move is part of efforts to get citizens to report dangerous driving behavior that puts lives at risk.
When you see it, you take the information. If you can take the infraction by video, if you can't, a license number, a picture of the car, anything at all, or the motorcycle, will be sufficient for us to start an investigation and to see where that takes us. As I said before, road safety is a shared responsibility. By working together and responsibly reporting dangerous behavior so that we can reduce crashes, save lives, injuries, and build a stronger culture of compliance and respect on Jamaican roads.
It is time for a break, but do stay with us. More stories when we return. Welcome back to the Midday News. Inhumane conditions. That's how residents of Malvern Park housing scheme in St. Anne have described their living condition for the past 3 years.
The over 200 households and roughly over 700 residents of the Malvern Park housing scheme in Davistown, St. Anne are growing frustrated over what they say is an unbearable sewage situation. The residents say for the past 3 years, sewage has been overflowing from a septic tank.
This current situation is one that is unbearable, one that we are unable to live with, one that we are demanding some attention currently. We are literally living in inhumane condition. As you would have noticed this morning, the sewer is down there overflowing, and the rest of it is not seen right now. Whenever it's raining, it's really bad down there. Even at nights, residents has to be locking up way before time. The heat is on right now. I'm sweating, and at home, you cannot keep your windows and doors open.
And it causing roaches coming up from the area, coming into the yards and all of that.
They say they have reported the matter to the Health Department, the National Water Commission, as well as the Urban Development Corporation, UDC.
Based on my investigation, I would have discovered that the septic was not turned over to UDC. Sorry, it was not turned over to NWC. An attempt was made, but NWC refused because it's a faulty septic tank. So it's currently in the hands of UDC. We had one Mr. Morris from UDC. Through him, we have had the septic tank, some of the septic removed a few times, but as soon as it is removed, it is actually overflowing again and again.
Our news center made several calls to the UDC. However, our calls went unanswered.
3 persons that came 3 different times, and there's no result. No result. So this is the time that we need this to be fixed. This cannot carry any longer. If not, we're going to block the road. We have to block the road to get, if we have to block the road to get some response on this, we are going to take it to the road because this have been too long.
Kirk Wright, TVJ News.
It is now time for the Business Minute.
Producer prices for Jamaica's mining and manufacturing industries increased in May. The latest figures from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, show that the producer price index for the mining and quarrying industry rose by 0.4%, while the manufacturing index increased by 2.7%. Statin says the increase in mining was driven mainly by a 0.3% rise in the bauxite mining and alumina processing category, along with a 2.3% increase in other mining and quarrying. The increase in manufacturing prices was largely due to higher costs in the food, beverages and tobacco group, which rose 2.9%, and refined petroleum products, which climbed 5.8%. Further afield, a cloud of uncertainty is settling over the workforce at Volkswagen. The automaker is planning to fire as many as 100,000 workers over the next few years. That's according to a report in German publication Manager magazine. The 100K number is roughly 15% of VW's nearly 660,000-member global workforce. The company previously announced 50,000 job cuts in Germany. It's not known if those are included in the reported 100,000 number. Also not known is where the cuts are planned. Volkswagen declined to comment on the report. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Hal Shane Burke.
Thank you, El Shane. Time now for the top stories from around the world.
In the region, Suriname has announced a major offshore gas discovery with Malaysian energy company Petronas striking gas at its Block 52 exploration site. President Jennifer Girling Simmons described the find as a historic development that could pave the way for multiple energy projects and boost national prosperity. Officials say the discovery strengthens Suriname's growing position as an emerging energy producer, with first gas production possibly beginning around 2030. And on the international scene, rescuers are racing against time in Caracas, Venezuela, after a 14-story building collapsed following 2 powerful earthquakes. A 7.5 magnitude quake struck, followed by a 7.2 magnitude foreshock just 39 seconds after. Authorities, alongside emergency responders and community volunteers, continued searching through the night for survivors. Officials say at least 164 people have died, with La Guaira state among the hardest hit and now under a national tragedy.
And we now take our final break. When we come back, we'll have your Midday Sports Report.